Hi everyone, welcome back. I am Raquel and this channel is all about giving career advice and HR tips to help you better navigate the professional world and really make an impact. Today we're talking all about the South Carolina Employees Withholding Certificate, better known as the South Carolina W-4 form, and how to fill that out. You are more likely here because you just got a new job and you need help completing this form, or you're at your current job and maybe you need help updating this form. Either way, let's get started right now. So before we get started, I just want to say that everyone's tax situation is different. Some people are single, they're married, they have no kids, they have 2 kids, they have 5 kids. You want to be sure that you're getting this right. This is a form that you're going to give to your payroll department or your HR department, and it lets them know how much taxes to deduct from your paycheck. So you want to be sure that if you have any doubt on your specific tax situation, that you're actually contacting a tax professional to be sure that you're getting this right. Alrighty, so let's get started. So in front of us, we have the South Carolina Employees Withholding Certificate, the 2021 version. Not every year is the form updated, so don't worry too much about the year. But the first section is the employee information, which is part 1. Here you're going to enter your name, your address, and all that good stuff. So for this example, I'm going to be Jane Doe, the good old Jane Doe, and then I'm going to enter my social security number in the box 2. Be sure that you're entering your social security number. I've seen, because it's on the right hand side, a lot of new hires and employees forget to enter that, and your job needs your social to be able to tell the IRS that they're actually taking taxes out of your check. So then next, your address. I'm going to be on Wisteria Lane in Greenville for this example. There we go. Next, you're going to enter the state, and then we'll enter the zip code. I want to be sure that I'm pointing out this very important section on box 3. This is where you're going to enter your filing status. So there are 3 options. So there is single, married, and married but withholding at a single rate. So for this example, I'm going to go ahead and check married. So it all depends on your specific situation, which box you're going to check. If you're single, you'll check single. If you're married, you'll check married. And then if you are married, but maybe you and your spouse are separated, you may want to select married, but withholding at a single rate. You would check box 4 if your last name is different on your social security card here. And then there's some instructions letting you know that you need to call the SSA, the Social Security admin, if you need to order another card. So for this example, we're just going to leave that box empty. Then on to number 5, this line item, where you're going to total the number of allowances from the applicable worksheet on page 3. So before you put anything there, some people will select single and 0, so they would put 0 here on line item 5. And when you select 0, that means that you will have the highest amount of taxes taken out of your check. To be sure, like the form says, there is a worksheet on page 3. So I'm going to scroll down to page 3, and to get a little closer to where you need to be as far as taxes coming out of your check, I would highly advise you to go down to this worksheet and complete it. So basically, it's helping you to decide what number you're going to put in box 5. So let's go through the worksheet together. So for A, you're going to enter 1 for yourself. So you're claiming yourself as an allowance. So we'll go ahead and enter 1. Then it asks, enter 1 if you will file as married, filing jointly. So I'll put another 1 here because I'm going to file my taxes as married, filing jointly at the end of the year. So for C, it's going to ask you to enter 1 if you're going to file head of household. So for me, I'm just going to go ahead and leave that blank. Then for D, it asks if you are single or married, filing separately, or have 1 job, you'll enter 1. Or if you are married, filing jointly, and have only 1 job and your spouse doesn't work, again, you can enter 1 on D. Also, it says if your wages from a second job, so if you have 2 jobs, or your spouse's wages are $1,500 or less, you would enter 1 here as well. So For this example, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it blank. My tax situations is pretty much simple. I have one job and my husband has one job, so we're just gonna say 1 and 1. And then for E, you're gonna enter the number of dependents that you're gonna claim on your 2021 federal tax return. So let's just say I have 2 kids. I'll go ahead and enter 2 on E. And then it also asks if you have any dependents under the age of 6. So if any of your kids are under 6, you would enter another number depending on how many kids you have under the age of 6 as of December 31st, 2021. So for me, I'll just go ahead and select 1 here. Alrighty, so now that I've entered 1 under F, so G, what G tells you to do is add lines A through F. So you have 2 here, another 2, that's 4, 1, 5. So that total will give me 5 there. So I'm gonna scroll back up to our original worksheet here. And then from that worksheet 3, I'm going to go ahead and enter 5 because that's what I got in the worksheet. So you don't have to complete the worksheet on page 3, but I would strongly suggest that you do so that you can get it right based on the instructions of the form. So line item 6 asks if you want any additional amount of taxes taken out of your paycheck. So this could be if someone has owed taxes and or they have anticipation that they're gonna owe taxes and maybe they want an extra $100 or $200 coming out of their paycheck, or they just want to be sure that they're not gonna owe taxes, or they make a very high salary, they might want to enter an extra $500 on line item 6. So for this example, we're just gonna go ahead and leave that blank. Also, on line item 7, you have the ability to say or to indicate if you are going to claim exemption from taxes for 2021. So most people are not going to be exempt from paying taxes. In most situations, you have very few individuals that may be exempt from paying taxes. So either you have a right to a refund of all your South Carolina income taxes withheld because you have no tax liability. And if that's the case, you'll go ahead and select here for whatever situation you have that your tax professional has said that you don't have any tax liability. Most people will go ahead and leave this blank. Or you have the ability to be or claim exempt from taxes if you are a military service member or a military spouse, and maybe you're temporarily living in South Carolina, but you are paying taxes in another state. You would want to go ahead and select that second box to say that you're electing to be exempt from taxes just based on your military spouse situation or your military situation. Usually, if you're going to claim this exemption, you have to provide your employer a copy of the military ID card, and then also the state that you're actually primarily living in. You have to provide at least some proof of that. So for this example, we'll go ahead and leave that blank, so we're not going to be exempt. So let's scroll on down to part 2, which is the employer's information. But before I do that, one very important thing, you see how I almost missed that? You actually have to sign the form. Your employer cannot process this form, this tax form, unless it's signed by you and dated by you. So you want to be sure that you're doing this, because what I see happen often is that employees will forget to sign this form, and maybe your payroll department can't get in contact with you or something like that. Your job has the legal obligation to withhold some type of taxes from you. So because it's not completed correctly, they might just go ahead and default your state taxes to single and zero and have the highest amount of taxes come out of your check, and you don't want that. So we want to be sure that we're signing and dating the form. Now, part 2 is the employer's information. So this is where your job, your payroll, or your HR department will complete the employer's name and address. So this you don't have to worry about section 2 at all. So really, after you filled out the top, you indicated your filing status, your allowances here, you've signed the form, you've dated the form, you're really all finished. So then after that, you're going to take that form and turn it into your HR person or your payroll person. And like I said, they are going to use that form, whatever amount you've clicked for your allowances and your filing status, and they're gonna put that into some type of payroll system, and that system will calculate how many taxes are supposed to come out of your check. So that's it. That's the South Carolina Employees Withholding Form. I hope that you found this video helpful. And if you are not subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? I talk about everything when it comes to HR tips and career advice. So be sure that you're clicking that red subscribe button below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.